So let's look at contraction force. How do we get more force in a contraction? We know we have the wave summation, so we can get the maximum force from a motor unit, but one motor unit, what if that's not enough? So how do we get more force? Well, we can recruit more motor units. So recruitment of other motor units. So if we have all these 4 motor units here, so each one of these is a neuron, and this neuron has 10 muscle cells, this one has 40, this one has 5, this one has 70. And when one is contracting, if more force is needed, it can recruit another one and another one. Okay, that increases the force of contraction. All right. Now the central nervous system basically controls who to fire and when. So your nervous system can figure out, assess the amount of force that you need and stimulate accordingly. And it will stimulate according also to the muscle type that's there. Are they fast twitch fibers? Are they slow twitch fibers? What are we doing? What do we need? Do we need power? Do we need endurance type of thing? The central nervous system also controls the number of motor units that are firing. Okay, so it controls the number of motor units that are firing at one time. So it's controlling that end force that we're getting, okay? The CNS also controls the pace of stimulation, which is basically the wave summation, how these guys are firing. So these action potentials here, this one's firing this fast, this one's firing really fast, this one's not so fast. The central nervous system controls all that. So we can recruit motor units to get more force. There's another thing that recruitment can do, and this is called asynchronous recruitment. So in asynchronous recruitment, motor units will fire at different times. So motor units fire at different times. So this allows for the motor units to rest. Allows for the motor units to rest. So it will reduce fatigue. So let's say, this guy who's 10 cells is going, and then he recruits this guy that's 40 cells, and then 10 cells gets tired, so then 70 cells takes over, and that allows 40 cells to rest too, but he's going to brings in 5 cells. Okay, so they go in phases. So they go for a while, then they rest, and the other one goes for a while, then they rest, and that will help to reduce the fatigue in the muscle. That won't really allow for maximal force. Absolute maximal force of the muscle itself is going to be all of its motor units contracting at the maximum number of action potentials. Okay, the absolute maximum force would be all of them at complete tetanus, which isn't going to happen, all right? So the more forceful the contraction has to be, the more motor units are engaged. The faster they're engaged, the quicker that muscle is going to kind of fatigue out. All right, so that is how we deal with power and force of contraction. So now we will look at types of contractions and types of muscles.